Good morning, everyone. Oh, to turn that off. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday, August 11th, 2023. My name is Kevin Smith. Thank you all so much for tuning into Loud Majority Live. Before we get started, make sure you guys hit that like button. Keep sharing this video out all over the place. If you're new to the channel, do hit the follow button. If you're watching on Facebook, share this video out into all of your groups. I want to welcome everybody in who is new. Let's go. Giddy up. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button to help grow this channel bigger and better every single day. So I don't know if you guys have been following this story. The show's going to change up a little bit. We're going to be starting at 8 o'clock every day now, starting at 8 o'clock, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Well, we used to start at like 8:30. It's going to be going to 8 o'clock. Just some housekeeping stuff. I think that's a little bit better for everybody, so we're going to be starting it up at 8 o'clock. Again, as we used to, we're going to go over just one big story and then call it a day. We're going to see how that works. We're going to see how that plays out. But let's see. So the big story coming out of Rochester, and we don't really get to see enough of this stuff, and it's unfortunate because, you hear so much about all these ridiculous hate crime stories that happen, the Jesse Smolletts of the world, the Bubba Wallaces, the Tawana Brawleys, the Duke LaCrosse cases. But when they turn out to be nonsense, they tend to drift away into obscurity. Well, there's a new one. There's a new one coming out of Rochester. This Rochester dentist was accused of hosting a racist Juneteenth party. He sues his local politician and a lawyer for defamation. Who wouldn't love to sue some local politicians? This is a pretty interesting story that I think is worth talking about. A Rochester dentist had filed a defamation lawsuit against a local legislator and an attorney who accused him and his wife of hosting a racist Juneteenth party, which was attended by a black firefighter, allegedly on the behest of his supervisor. Nicholas claims in the suit filed on Tuesday that Nathan McMurray, an attorney who represents firefighter Jared Jones, and Monroe County legislator Rachel Barnhart destroyed his dentistry practice and ruined his family's life over what his legal team is calling a hate crime hoax. He says that the allegations even led to someone suggesting he should kill himself, and in an anonymous letter to his office. The lawsuit states, the small party thrown last July by Nicosia and his wife, Nicosia, I'm pronouncing that wrong, and his wife was thrust into the limelight when Jones accused his captain of taking him and a few other on-duty firefighters to the gathering, and which featured racist elements, according to the lawsuit brought by the 14-year department veteran. Jones said he saw a display of Juneteenth flags over buckets of fried chicken in order to mock the holiday. A woman allegedly pretending to be Barnhart performed a sexually suggestive dance while photos of Democratic politicians were attached to stakes in the yard. This is incredibly odd. This is such a weird-ass story. Nicosia is a registered Democrat and was surprised when Jones's fire captain brought a small group of firefighters to the party that was organized by his conservative-leaning wife. While at a social event, Jones never seemed uncomfortable during the 40 minutes the group stayed, the lawsuit claims. I'm speaking out now because I can no longer remain silent on the devastating smear campaign against me by an opportunistic lawyer and an elected official, he told the New York Post. I am also taking the stand so that hopefully no one else will have to endure the hell I'm going through. So this crazy, crazy person decided to smear this guy's dentistry practice as racist and that him and his wife were racist because they had Juneteenth flags over buckets of fried chicken, and that was supposed to somehow mock the holiday. This is the nonsense that we have to go through. This is the nonsense we have to go through every single day whenever there are hate crime hoaxes, because people are too sensitive now. People are far too sensitive now. It is staggering to me that we just can't. I don't know. Nobody seems to be tough-skinned anymore. Nobody seems to be able to, I don't know, see something that they personally don't like and just deal with it. Now we're sitting back and we have to deal with the fact that, let's see, who's in the chat here? Oh, here we go. Kong, hey, what's going on, brother? Thanks for tuning into the early show, man. Thanks for tuning in to the early show, Kong. Always good to see you, man. Always good to see you. So this racial hate crime hoax is obviously taking over the upstate New York community, and it is. Like I said, I am shocked by how soft some people have become. Now this poor guy loses his entire practice. Why? Because one firefighter got offended at utterly nothing. One firefighter got offended at nothing. And I'm sure he will receive no compensation in this. Of course, local Democratic politicians had no problem jumping on this because, that's what Democrats do. The Monroe County lawmaker is Rachel Barnhart, who seems to suck. This is her, who decided to call him out as racist and all this other nonsense. So so that's her. So if you're up there in Monroe County, just know that one of your local elected officials is batshit crazy. Is absolutely batshit crazy. So do I still have these pulled up? Where are they? Where is this? No, I don't have them anymore. So we'll skip that. We shall skip that. But I do want to talk about the migrant crisis in New York City because apparently, this coming from Newsday, a judge has told New York City that they need to fight migrant relocation bans in Suffolk County and other municipalities, which is something that is absolutely wild to me. New York City must fight the Long Island municipalities and dozens of others in each county's court. A Manhattan judge has ruled in rejecting the Adams administration to centralize challenges to ban local relocating foreign migrants from the city. So this Manhattan judge, basically, what Eric Adams tried to do here was he tried to go to his local judge, someone that's going to be friendly to him, and say, look, we need to put these illegal immigrants somewhere else, and we're being blocked by other municipalities. Can you override their rulings? Can you override their policy? And a local judge in Manhattan told Eric Adams, you got to do it in their local jurisdictions. So we shall see what will happen out here on Long Island, whether or not we will be getting the migrants from New York City. Tomorrow I'm going to be in the city for a Laura Loomer event, but I'm going to run over to the Roosevelt Hotel and try to get some fun footage of the illegals living out on the street, because they were promised the American dream. They were promised this by their local officials, but I guess somebody lied to them. Somebody lied to them on their way up here to New York. I'm pulling this up from New York Viral News. In case you guys haven't seen this yet, this is from, let me see, where is it? This is from New York Viral News. This is what it looks like outside of the Roosevelt Hotel. With migrants just strewn all over the place. This is what they were promised. It's shocking how bad some things are in New York City. It's absolutely shocking. Let's just keep going here. Let's see. If you guys aren't following, Viral News NYC, make sure you guys follow them on Twitter. Just look at this. Look at the photographs outside on the street in Manhattan now. Well, that's Tucker, so. There's more of them lining. Adams slammed border states for creating a funnel to New York City on CBS's Morning on Thursdays. You know, we were talking about it yesterday on the show. Eric Adams claimed that over 100,000 New Yorkers, over 100,000 illegal immigrants have come to Manhattan in the last year and a half. And that is 6%. We have added 6% to Manhattan's population. 6% to Manhattan's population over the course of the last couple of months. How is the city supposed to sustain this? How is a city supposed to sustain this? I don't really know. But now it seems like Eric Adams is going to be taking his fight out to Long Islanders. The lawsuit filed on June 7th was against 31 municipalities in the state for allegedly seeking to wall off their borders, which is not against the law. The city cited state laws and regulations and the U.S. Constitution in asking the court to suspend all emergency orders, declare them void, and stop their enforcement for good. On May 7th, Riverhead Supervisor Yvette Aguilar signed an order prohibiting motels and facilities from accepting such migrants. On May 26th, Steve Ballone, the Suffolk County executive, forbade Suffolk hotels, motels, and shelters from contracting with the city to accept migrants absent county approval. Although Frank did not rule on the merits of the case, he did rule that the proper venue for the decision is in the court of each county where the order is enacted. The ruling means that cases against Riverhead and Suffolk County are being transferred to Suffolk County Court. The mayoral spokesperson said, "We are determining the next steps in this litigation." I don't really understand how this has become New York City's problem. I don't know how this has become Long Island's problem, quite frankly, with the fact that Eric Adams ran on this. He wanted it. He said, we will always be a sanctuary city. Until it actually ended up happening. Yesterday on the show, we talked about Lady Gaga's father. And obviously, I don't really care about that, man. But in his cushy-ass, upscale New York City Upper West Side district is now starting to see a huge influx of migrants. And he can't take it anymore. Well, neither can the rest of us, sir. Maybe your daughter shouldn't have donated all that money to Democrats. Maybe your daughter shouldn't have donated all that money to Democrats. Back to the article. Advocates say that several hundred of the migrants have been moved out to Long Island and New York City, but on their own, not from a formal relocation effort by the city. Upon filing the suit, the head of Adams' legal department denied that the case was gamesmanship to relocate proceedings away from judges elsewhere in the state so the dispute can be adjudicated in a more favorable territory. Yeah, that's pretty funny. So Mayor Eric Adams, a spokesperson, claimed that doing it in New York City wasn't in order to get a more favorable judge. That's how insane this is, that even in New York City, they couldn't get a judge to overrule the local municipalities, to overrule our local districts. He's going to be shipping them all over the place. He won't ship them to Jersey. He won't do that. Why? Because Eric Adams doesn't want them where he lives. Eric Adams doesn't want these illegals living where he lives. But, alas, here we sit in New York City, not really noticing what is even going on. New York City, what they should be doing is every time these migrants come here on these buses, they should just be they should leave them on the buses and just keep them moving right the way up to Canada. The same way Mexico does to us. These people come in over the southern border in Mexico, like Mexico's southern border. They're on buses and they just ship them right up to the border. Why don't we just drop them off in Canada and let them become Justin Trudeau's problem? But Eric Adams can't do that. And why can't he do that? Because he's worried about being primaried from his left by people like Alvin Bragg. Eric Adams is going to lose anyway, so I'm not really sure what he's worried about. I'm not really sure why he's just not doing the right thing. Perhaps these people are a little bit more evil than even I thought. Guys, we're gonna wrap right here. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Make sure you guys stay tuned at 1:00 for the national show. Head on over to loudmajorityusa.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Check out the shop. We're gonna be starting at 8 a.m. Eastern every day now. We're gonna be doing one big story at the top of the morning. And then just go until we're done. So we're gonna have a little bit of a programming note for everybody. We're gonna be starting at 8:00 and then just going until we finish. Guys, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. And until 1:00, guys, stay loud.